Now one more, and here in this case it is a truncated four-faced pyramid. Now what is there in this problem? Let's do it again, similar to what we have done. So I will go a little faster now. Let this is the frontal view and the horizontal view of a truncated four-faced pyramid. If you observe it, the four-faced pyramid means there is a bottom, okay, then one face, two face, third and fourth. That is how the pyramid is, and this pyramid has been sliced again. So what we see in the frontal and the horizontal is the projection of the sliced parameter, okay, and that is how the projections are. For the given surface, this surface here, whether we see this surface on frontal or on horizontal, in both the cases this is coming as the foreshortened or the distorted, because this particular surface is not parallel to any of the principal planes, and we want to generate for this oblique surface its normal view. So the procedure is same. First of all, we'll try to identify, is there any line on the oblique plane which we know as the true line or the true length. I will repeat, for the given oblique surface or oblique plane, on its projections onto the horizontal or on the frontal, we will try to find a line which is projected as the normal line, okay, which is projected as the normal line. If it is not projected as a normal line, and that is quite possible, then we will have one more auxiliary plane in between, and using an oblique line which is lying onto the, or no line is being projected as true line, we will take one of the lines, and then corresponding to that line we will generate a view so that that line can be projected as the true line or true view onto an auxiliary surface. Let us see over here. So if we see in horizontal projection and the frontal 1f 2f, you will find 1f 2f is parallel to the horizontal plane, okay, is parallel to the horizontal plane. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is the line 1 2 is known or is being projected as the true length onto the horizontal plane. So we got our line, the line which we wanted. So I am writing the steps also here. Identify the line on oblique surface which is in TL in H view. So the line is 1S 2H. Okay, once the line is there, what is the second step that we do? Second step is we draw the hinge line perpendicular to true length, because we want to create a point view of that line. So if we draw the hinge line perpendicular to the true length, and then on auxiliary plane A1 we will project. So now what will happen, as per our definition, this is A3, that's A2, and this is A1. So we will be measuring the distance on A1, taking the projectors from A2 and then projecting them finally onto the A3. So if we do it, we will get the edge view of the oblique surface, because the line which is known and we are looking along that line, and the projection of that line on the horizontal is known as the true length. Okay, so let's do it. So these are the projectors. Now in this case the concept of the reference line is coming. So we need to now measure the distances. So over here we need to measure the distances along the projector, and we take the distances from A1. So in general, so far what we were doing, for example, if I want to take the distance of 4F, I will be taking this as the distance, okay, from the hinge line. But over here we are just changing the reference line, and I'm taking the reference lines at the bottom. Alright, so the distances now we are taking from reference line, and it doesn't matter, because wherever I take the distances from, okay, the distances are relative. Okay, the distance are relative, and still I will get my desired view. Of course, an edge view which is coming like this may come like this. Okay, once you do it, then you will know it. So if I take the distances from now reference line, and that is how in this direction we are taking the distances. By applying those distances, we get the edge view. So we have the edge view of the oblique plane. Once we have the edge view, we know it. Parallel to the edge view, we will take there should be the edge view of the auxiliary plane, on which the oblique plane which is known to us will be projected as the true shape. So parallel to the given EV here, we will be taking the hinged line. So let us do that. So if we take the hinged line, and this is my A2, the second auxiliary plane, because the A1 was here, that's the A1, and here now the second auxiliary plane A2. Of course, as per our definition, the names will be now as A3, A2 and A1. So we have to measure now the distances from horizontal projection, and we have to take the projectors from the first auxiliary plane, okay, and then finally generate the view on A2. So let us do it. So if you take the projectors, so these are the directions of the projectors, and then the distances that we have to measure. As we said earlier, you know, ideally, or we used to measure the distances from hinged line. That is how we used to measure the distances. But in this case, we are taking the reference line here, and we will be measuring the distances from reference line. If you do that, so for each given point, that is how the distances are being measured. Alright, so we'll apply the distances, and by joining the points, we'll get the true shape. So we get the true shape. So concepts are same. The concepts are same, whatever we are discussing in all the problems. Now this is the final problem for today, and we have to draw the normal view of the given oblique surface, which is this A, B, C, D, E, F. Now for this, first we will create the frontal view and the top view. Let us go about it. Once we will have the frontal and top, then we will be creating the auxiliary view, and on that the A, B, C, D, E, F will be projected as the normal view. Let us do it. So we take the horizontal profile and the frontal, and then on the horizontal the projection of the given object. Okay, and just think of this object. In the very first slide also I had shown you, if you think that it is not sliced, then I can all connect it here, and that is how the object will be. Okay, the full object. So for this object also, if I see from the top, I will be getting the top view. So I am projecting that top view over here. Okay, and then on this top view, I join the all vertices to the top vertex, which is point O, and then corresponding to all these, we take the projector to the frontal, and that's the bottom. So bottom we are representing as F dash, E dash, and that is why we are writing the names as dash over here. You will notice it. Just look at the names also. And then that is how the pyramid is, and this is the height of the pyramid. Of course, in this case, the direction of viewing is this, so there should be a line. If the pyramid is not truncated, that is how their line will be there, which will be F dash F and the vertex of it. Okay, the O point. If we complete the projection of the frontal projection of this, That is how the frontal projection of the object will appear, will look like. And please understand this, AFBF are represented by a point, because once you see in this direction, that means your viewing direction is this, or viewing direction is this, and that is why A and B are coming to same point. Okay, similarly on the other side, the E dash and the D dash somewhere here. Okay, so that is why they are also coming onto the single point. So you should be clear about what is my viewing direction. Okay, let's take it forward. Now one thing, the plane which is slicing this pyramid is characteristic is given to me, and the characteristic is at the center at a certain height. This height is given to me. Okay, this height is given to me. Also is given to me what is the angle of inclination of this cutting plane. That is also given to me. So let me draw this over here. So if I draw it, that is how the plane of intersection is. One more thing you will notice, because I am saying, okay, this line represents the edge view of the cutting plane. Okay, so this line is the edge view of the given cutting plane A, B, C, D, E, F. Alright? Okay, if this is the case, can we locate the point A? Let me change the color. Can we locate the point A, B, and say E over here? Where are those points? So the line from A dash, when it is going up to point O, it is being sliced by that cutting plane. Okay, and it is being sliced somewhere here. So this point is the point which is corresponding point A. Similarly over here, that's the point which is F. So here is F and this is A. Alright, so we'll make use of this and we'll identify these points on the frontal projection. So let us do it. Of course, the plane which is given to us, the cutting plane, is making an angle of 30 degree. So the point A and point B, again in this case, they will be, they will be at the same point in the frontal projection. Similarly, the point E and D, they will be again coming at the same point in the frontal projection. That's why EAF, BF and EF and DF are coming as single points. So what we have in our frontal projection the given points A, B, D and E. So corresponding to this, I can draw the projectors to the horizontal and identify those points there, locate those points there. And of course, this is corresponding to the central line. Central line means along this. That's why it is F and C. Now notice this. I'm drawing the projector to the horizontal from here, and I know how the view will be on the horizontal because I have already drawn it. So the point of intersection over here, these two are corresponding to A and B. So this A and B on the top view are these points. Similarly, if I draw another projector, the point corresponding to these two will be this point E and the D on the inclined plane, on the oblique plane. So I can join this, and you will notice that we are creating now also simultaneously the views. So I'm drawing these lines also. So far I'm able to draw the line DE and AB. So this is my AB and this is my DE on the horizontal projection. Of course I should write here H, H, H and H. Okay, let's take it forward. Now one more thing, in order to create the full horizontal projection, in addition to AB and DE point, I also need the corresponding point C and the F. Where is that point? From the frontal, if I take the projector up, okay, yes, I know it should be somewhere here, but where? We do not know that location. So what we will do, we'll make use of the profile view. We'll create the profile view, and with the help of the profile view, we'll try to identify these points. Let us do it. So I'm creating the profile view of the given pyramid, and that is how, because that's the height, that is how the pyramid is in the profile view. What is the meaning of the profile view? In the case of the profile view, you are seeing this pyramid from this direction. Okay, so if you are seeing it from this direction, the point F dash P and C dash P means F dash point here and the C dash P point somewhere there are coming over here. Alright, so extending the same height, we know that the FO and CO, okay, F dash is at the bottom, okay, so F dash O and C dash O, it is being cut at this height by the cutting plane. We know that. So this is why this height is being taken to the profile, and by doing it I will be able to locate, because this point is O, I can write OP because it is a projection on profile. So on F dash P and OP, the point which is being cut by the cutting plane will be the FP. Okay, so let us do it. If I do it for both, so that's the FP and a CP, and then once I know the FP, I can take it to the horizontal. So if I take it to the horizontal, I get the point here, and this point is FH. Similarly for CP also, that's the point which is CH. Alright, so let's complete it, and we can complete now our horizontal projection. Of course, in this case we know the surface which is projected as AH, BH, CS, DH, FS, EH onto the horizontal is a distorted one. Okay, so our purpose is to create the normal one of this, so we will do it in the next step. Alright, so once our planes are there, then we also notice then, okay, what will happen of this isocircle part. Okay, when we see it from the top, it will be seen as a circle. So let's create that circle over here, and then for this circle, two ends of this, if I project them onto the frontal, so they will be projected here, and because this hole or the drill into the pyramid is going up to the bottom, so we'll have some dashed lines. So these dashed lines are showing that drill is going up to the bottom of the pyramid. Alright, so we are able to also locate the points corresponding to this drill onto the inclined surface. Now there are some other lines, okay, center lines. Our purpose is we want to create the true shape of this inclined plane. What we have now in the frontal, the edge view, because this line is representing the edge view of the oblique plane. Also we have now with us on that edge view the different locations or different points. Okay, so we'll be making use of this because now we can draw the projectors from the frontal onto the auxiliary plane along different points. Okay, those points means A, B, C, D, E, F, and then on those I will be treating this as A3, as A1, this is as A2, and A3 will be the auxiliary plane where we are doing it. So from A2 now we can take the projectors because we know the positions of various points over here. We'll be measuring the distances from A1, applying it onto the A3 and getting the true shape. Let's do it. So if you do it, that's our hinge line because the hinge line is parallel to the edge view. And then on we draw the projectors now from the frontal. So this is how the projectors are. Now corresponding to each projector, corresponding to each point, say this point over here and the point over here. So this point represents A and B. Okay, so from that we have drawn the projector. Now on the horizontal view, what are the distances? So on the horizontal view, the distance from the hinge line to AH is this, and to BH is this, and this is what we are going to apply here, the distance AH and the distance BH. Let's do it. So if I apply the distances here, with the help of the points that we have generated, we can create the complete view. Also now we have to transfer the circle, and corresponding to circle also we have the edges within which the circle will lie. And to transfer the complete circle, as what we do, as usually the circle will divide in different component, different parts or different points, the periphery of it, circumference of it, and all those points will be then projected. So let us do that. On the horizontal view, let us divide the circumference on different points. Now each of these can be brought to the frontal. So on the edge view over here, we have corresponding points to those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 which are lying onto the circle. Now we can project these onto the auxiliary plane. So let's project them, and then measuring the distances from the hinge line to given points onto the circle, we can generate our true view onto the auxiliary. So onto the auxiliary, the true view will then be available. So the given view, now this view is the true shape of the inclined surface of this truncated pyramid. What we will do in our next classes, we will make use of same concepts and we'll try to solve some more little more complicated cases to understand this better. Thank you.